Man, I don't expect anybody to see this live stream. Because it's a brand new account. It's a brand new day. It's time to archive all of my old information, some of it which is new. It's time to save that for my next generation before YouTube decides to, take all that information and dip it. So what's going on to all the indigenous folks? And let's talk about something real quick. When you was born in this world, you were given a name. That's what separated you, right, from your brother, your sister, correct? Okay. You were also told that you were a color. You were told that most instances, you were told that you was African American. You were told that you were black. Sometimes you may have heard a weird term of Negro. You may have heard that. Some of y'all may have heard terms of mulatto. But we know that all came at a certain time period, and it came from certain people. So let's go back in history and figure out that, let's say roughly around the year of 1820, give or take, that when your ass was being removed by way of the Indian Removal Acts that were starting to go around. Again, different starting points, different literature says different things. But we'll just say roughly around 1820. So now we're talking about 200 years. Now, ever since then, almost everyone, because some of us do have the records that say that we are part of a tribe. And not only that, not just the ones that say that they are slaves from a tribe, but actually on the rolls. So that's one thing. But for most of you, 99% of you, you know that all of your records will say that you are colored, Negro, African American. Right? Okay. My question is to anyone that when we get to start knowing what this channel is and about, where's the proof that you are what they say you are? Everybody goes by face value because everybody, all right, so you come into the world and mommy and daddy tell you that the sky is blue, that wall is tan, that the sun is orange. You just go with that, right? Because that's what you were told. But now we are in the age of knowing. We are in the age of information. Flies around here real fast, doesn't it? Now they're trying to talk about 5G. My question is, you have taken for the past 200 years. Now remember, we're going to give them a break, our ancestors a break of the first 100 years, because they were under stress, duress, and coercion, under penalty of death, to reveal who they were. All right, if you got a damn sheriff that's riding by inside of you, a marshal or whoever, they're saying to you that if you don't say this, then we are going to kill your children and your granny and grandpa and everyone else. So that's part of fight or flight. You either fight it or you don't. And if you're going to fight it, you're going to find yourself in a situation. We all know that. So now, since you know that all of your certificates, all your family certificates, all of your records, mostly, they say Negro, black, colored, African American. and you now take that as prima facie evidence. You take that as evidence that, and you walk around with pride that that is evidence that that is the truth. In fact, that that is indeed, in fact, a truth. Because you have been told that by more than one person, more than one source, more than one institution. Notice I say institution, because really the institutions are set up for the sick, ill, and insane. That's where we've been in. Now, again, we are in the age of information. What are you doing about it? Well, a lot of us are figuring out that we are going to study and figure out exactly what's going on. And that's why a lot of people that are in a different mindset than you would rather be lazy and would rather follow the leadership that has been a part of the same thing for the past 200 years. And therefore, if you speak against that, then you're going against the grain, you're outside the kingdom, and you are then shunned, ostracized, made fun of, called loony, right? The crazy one, conspiracy theorists. Now, remember, you have been told this for 200 years that you are something, but you are now cracking open a book, looking on the internet, looking on your phone, and finding out that that's not the truth. That the truth has been that you are not Negro, that you are not African American, that you are not colored, and that in fact, indeed, you are an American Indian. I like to say Indian, and I don't give a shit about the people that talk about, well, that was given to. No, I like the term Indian. I am Sioux. Probably so are you. Maybe a different tribe. But here's the thing. For 200 years, they have not provided you one iota of truth. They have given you entertainment purposes only for DNA tests. They have told you that this is the direction you need to study by the famous and scholars that are out there. Read this book, read that book, and then it'll give you the right direction. Follow the compass. It'll lead you to where you need to go. But there's never been any proof. There's never been any proof to any of this. So now you have a new age of people that are studying and saying, no, well, now I'm understanding a different truth. This was all a lie. This was all concocted. This was also aiding and abetting as well. There were complicit people that, meaning that there were people that were a part of this, that were part of the institution, that are indeed and in fact one of you, that were agents that sold you out for a mere shekel, for a mere penny, for a mere dollar. Now, isn't it very ironic that as soon as you speak about the truth, that you're finding out about the real truth, that you get the first pushback, the first hatred and vitriol comes from within your own community? Did you really understand the dynamics of what's going on? It's because the people have been, including yourself, have been told a certain lie for so long that they now believe it. If you start out with saying that your name is Jimmy, and then 20 years later somebody starts saying, what's up, Craig? What up, Craig? What it do, Craig? You will look at them like they fucking crazy. Who is Craig? Oh, well, look, I'm showing you what your real name, because you was adopted, bruh. Your real name is Craig. Now, again, it's going to take you a hell of a long time for that to even assimilate in your brain. And this is exactly what's going on right now. This is exactly what you are facing right now. You are going against the kingdom. You are going against the grain. You are finding truths that are cutting. And look, believe me, this is not easy. It's not easy at all. This is the real deal. But it also is showing that It's finally time for the veils of secrecy to come down and for the truth to shine free. Isn't that what it's all about? You are finally free. You have finally found your family. You are connecting with like-minded and like-blood individual that you really looked at with disdain before. You may have felt a certain type of way about a certain type of people because of their color of their skin, of the way that they look. That shit should be over now. You should know that all that's false. So again, 200 years of a POW, 200 years of not knowing any truth, and now you do know the truth. Now that you know the truth, what is your goal? What is your job? What are you supposed to do with the truth? Are you supposed to sit on it like Mother Goose on an egg? Is that what you're doing? You're cultivating? Or are you now getting up and you are, in effect, testifying to the goodness of what you just learned? Are you sharing it? Are you spreading it around? Are you happy about it? Is it a real deal for you? You know the truth. No one has ever given you the proof of calling you these colors. No one. Your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfathers, your greats, they did not have the proof. They knew, some knew about it, but they were scared and they were coerced and they were forced to put that upon you. And so I say to those middle ancestors that are in the middle that were forced to do that, I give you a pass. I understand what's going on. For those that gave innuendos and parables and riddles and made you think, I give you another, hey, thank you. And for those that outright, not downstairs in the basement when they pulled you to the side and say, hey, you ain't no Negro. Big shout out to you. Because you did something that could have killed you. Could have easily found you ran over. Could have easily found you hung with your head chopped off as well, with your private parts dangling who knows where. Again, 200 years of not knowing who you are. No one ever showing you proof. No one, you never even, look, you took it for face value. You read the book. You knew all the chapters. You knew all the verses. But you never had any proof. You just took it for face value. You took the title and ran with it as truth. And now that's why it is so hard for you to break out of it, because you think that it's just like you waking up and putting on your socks and putting on your boots and putting on your jacket to go out to work. It's just like that. You think that it's the truth. You think that that's because you've been programmed to do this over and over and over, therefore that is the truth. But it's not. The truth has been hidden from you, has been a lie. You have been deceived. And now you have to peel through the many layers to figure out exactly where you fit into this. Now, am I saying that everyone is going to find out that they are American Indian? No. You may find out that you're something else. But really, what you're going to do is you're going to find out that you are connected to the Americas if you're from here. You're going to find that out. And then be open-minded to the fact that, okay, you are connected to the Americas, so you are American Indian, you are Native, you are an original. But also remember, before anyone, right? Before, when I say here, I'm talking about before the furthest you can, so let's say you can go back to the 1500s. Okay, but there was the 1400s. And then there was the 1300s before that, and the 1200s, 1100s, 1000, and so on and so forth. So remember that we have always explored. We have always went where we wanted to go, traveled where we want to go. And so therefore, What's to say that 10,000 years ago, we weren't in another location somewhere else? What's to say we weren't populating everywhere around, even places that you don't even know about? So take pride in it. I'm going to take pride in saying I'm Sioux. I'm going to take pride in that. Catawba Wolf, Eastern Band, Haliwa, Saponi. I'm gonna take pride in that. But I also know that before that, there was some particular label. And before that, there was some particular label. And before that, label. But it all boils down to the same thing, that you know what, it just doesn't really matter, because you have awareness now, you know the truth. And so therefore, what do you need to be all frowned up about anymore? The truth is that you are of one people. Many different types, many different shades, beautiful people, but we all had a Genesis, didn't we? And you don't even know how far back that you can go with that. You can't give me a conclusive number until you start going into guesswork. It doesn't matter how far your credentials go from here to down the street. It doesn't matter, because I can give you another scholar, so-called doctor, that will give me a different answer. Know this, you come from the Most High. Know this, you come from oneness, wholeness, the vibration. That's the key, isn't it? It's okay to talk about where you are right now. Nothing wrong with that. I love it. Like they say, more power to it. But remember, at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the genesis of you were one. And now you gotta figure out who you were exactly rocking with. Were you rocking with a vibration that was so powerful that you can't even now begin to understand the complexity, the harmonious union that you had? Is it so far-fetched? Is it so mind-blowing that you have not a clue of where you were at? Things to think about, isn't it? 200 years of a POW, maybe now 1 year of knowing who you are. So now smile. Now have some pride. Show it off. And for those that are still stuck, for those that just take something because it was said to you, because I was told that, and my daddy told me that, and my grandma told, and that's it, Jack, but no evidence, no proof, and you never question anything, just know that's not what you do with anything else. As a matter of fact, if I come out now and I tell you that I'm going against what you just said, because now I'm telling you I'm from the Americas and I'm not from Africa. Why are you attacking me when I'm showing you, at least I am trying to show you some proof? But yet you'll take somebody else that you have no knowledge about, but they happen to look like you, and they happen to say the same regurgitated information with no proof to back it, and you follow it, and that's okay. But yet you will give the third degree to anyone that believes differently. Think about this. Think about it. That's all you need to do, is start thinking about all of this. All of the lies, all the deceptions, it'll start to come true. It'll start to ring. It'll start to vibrate. That's 432. The drop talks about that vibration. Harmony. Vibration. Pitch. Frequencies. Waves. Particles. Let's get there. Let's get there. Make it work. This is simple. It's so simple that all the man is to, look, all anyone has said is that you wake up and live your life, help others, Try to remember who you came from. Why? What's your purpose? What's your purpose? You know that you've been in some kind of bondage. Now that what do you do now that you've broken free from that? Where do we go? Where do we go now? Are you scared because this is new territory and you're free? Okay, nothing wrong with that. But you got like-minded people out there that's willing to embrace you right now. Forget all the static. Forget all the trolls. Forget all the haters. Because they're still stuck into 200 years of programming. A lot of people will not accept that yet. It doesn't matter how much that you hit them over the head with the knowledge. Doesn't matter how much wisdom you give them. Doesn't matter how many articles you give them, because they got 200 years of indoctrination on you, my brothers and sisters. 200 years. So with that, I'm going to drop the mic, and welcome you to the new channel, to the new perspective, and being free.